The night I had to ask someone to leave. People think a tavern like this is all warmth and wisdom, stories, laughter, second chances. But tonight, here in Chicago, with the wind rattling the windows and the city humming outside like it always does, a guest asked me a question that stopped my paw mid-wipe. "Lion," he said, "have you ever had to kick someone out of the tavern?" The fire popped once. Alex glanced up from the end of the bar, already knowing this wasn't a casual question. I set the cloth down slowly. "Yes," I said, "and it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. If you've ever wondered whether boundaries make you cruel, stay with me." The man asking wasn't angry. He wasn't loud. That's usually not who asks questions like that. He was tired, the deep kind, the kind you get when you've been tolerating something for too long and calling it kindness. "I keep people around who drain me," he admitted. "I tell myself it's patience, or loyalty, or love." He paused. "But I think I'm just afraid of being the bad guy." I nodded. The tavern chose Chicago tonight for a reason. The city knows pressure, knows loyalty, knows what it costs to survive winter after winter without losing yourself. I poured him a drink, nothing fancy, and leaned against the bar. Most people don't ask that question because they want permission to be mean, I told him. They ask because they're afraid of finally being honest. Alex passed by then, setting down fresh coasters, murmuring, "Wind's picking up outside." It always does when the truth is close. "Now I'll tell you about the night," I said, "the one you're really asking about." He leaned in. "Years ago, different city, different season, the tavern welcomed a man who came often. Too often. At first he was charming, funny, insightful, broken in a way that made most people want to save him. But slowly, the air changed when he arrived. Conversations dimmed, laughter shortened. People left earlier than they meant to. He never raised his voice, never crossed a line you could easily point to. He just took energy, attention, space. One night, Alex, younger then, came to me quietly. "Lion," he said, "people stop being themselves when he walks in." That mattered, because the tavern isn't just a place, it's a promise. I sat with the man that night after closing. No audience, no drama. I told him the truth, gently, clearly. "Whatever you're carrying," I said, "you're placing it on everyone else without asking." He laughed at first, then he argued. Then, when he realized I wasn't moving, he looked hurt. After everything, he asked, you're choosing them over me? I took a long breath. I'm choosing the tavern, I said, and tonight you can't stay. Kicking someone out looks dramatic in stories. In real life, it's quiet, heavy, and it lingers long after the door closes. If this story is touching something tender for you, if you've ever struggled with boundaries or felt guilty for needing space, you're welcome here. Sit with it. And if these stories help you breathe a little easier, you already know where the tavern is. The man across from me in Chicago stared into his glass. I was hoping you'd say you never had to, he admitted. I smiled, not unkindly. Kindness without boundaries isn't kindness, I said. It's self-abandonment. People think asking someone to leave means you failed them. Sometimes it means you finally told the truth. That night, long ago, the tavern felt quieter after the door closed. But slowly, laughter returned. Stories stretched longer. People stayed. Not because I was cruel, but because I protected the space. I looked at the guest now. Here's the part most people don't tell you, I said, leaning in. When you stop letting someone harm the room, you give them the chance to notice they're doing it. They may never thank you. They may never understand. But the boundary, oh, the boundary, it still matters. Alex came by again, nodding towards the windows where Chicago's lights reflected like stars trapped in glass. The city's still awake, he said. So are some truths, I smiled back at him. If you ever have to ask someone to leave, a room, a relationship, a season of your life, and your heart breaks a little when you do, that doesn't mean you're wrong. It means you care. But remember this, a tavern that lets one guest poison the room eventually has no guests left to serve. Tonight, the Lion's Tavern rests in Chicago, a city that knows the balance between toughness and heart. If you're carrying guilt for protecting your peace, set it down here for a while. You're not cruel for choosing the room over the noise. You're just learning how to keep the fire lit. So, my friend, until next I see you, take care and be well.